What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a Let's Talk About Cards episode. This is episode 4. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So today what I wanted to talk about is cards in general. I've had a lot of people asking me if you need nice cards or what type of cards you should use for cardistry. So I kind of wanted to touch base on this. So here I have a $1 deck. I don't remember where I got from, I think from a dollar store. And then a very nice deck of playing cards that's worth around $30. Retails for much higher than this now, I believe. But these are two vastly different decks, and so I wanted to put these through 3 tests to determine what cardistry you can and can't do based on the money and the quality of the deck of cards. Okay, so the first test we're going to do is a spring. So I will put a picture or a video of a spring right here if you don't know what that is. It's a very fun flourish to do. Clumpier decks tend to not do so well with the spring. So we're going to see how both of these handle. We're going to start off with, the $1 deck first. Okay, so here we go. Let's try it. So yeah, not the greatest. It's very cardboard-like, so these cards are just cardboard. You can tear them apart that easily, and so they feel kind of clumpy, but that'll be good for some of the tests later on, I think. Yeah, as far as the spring, I'd probably give it a 5 or 6 out of 10, just because not the greatest, but you can still get the flourish done fairly easily if you've been practicing the spring for a while. Okay, now moving on, we're going to do a spring with the Virtuoso Winter Fall 2017 edition deck. They're also coming out with a new deck very soon, so I hope to get that and review it for you guys. But anyway, let's see how these, okay, here we go. Let's see how these guys do. Oh yeah, just much smoother all around. Takes little to no effort to spring out the cards, and they feel a lot better. This is what you're going to get with a very nice deck, especially a deck made for cardistry. But it is definitely a much nicer handling deck. It is a bit more expensive, and they're more expensive now because they are out of stock at the moment. You can only get them on other sites. But yeah, much better handling deck. So let's move on to the next. So the second challenge is going to be packet cuts. The first one was just kind of a basic move to go on, so maybe I'll explain the next ones. So the second challenge is going to be packet cuts. Packet cuts is a very important part of cardistry. It's a very big part of cardistry, so I feel that's something important to test. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to be doing a basic Sybil cut with both decks and see which ones performs better. And then after that, we're going to do some pressure moves. So we're going to do under pressure, and we're going to do the lapel spread to see how those cards handle with pressure moves of that nature. Okay, so now we're going to do a Sybil cut with this deck. So let's just do this quickly. So not bad, we'll do it one more time. I've been practicing some other moves, so it's kind of hard. Oh gosh. Alright, let's try this one more time. Yeah, okay. So that wasn't bad. These cards are really, they feel plasticky in a way. I'm pretty sure they are plasticky actually. So not bad, not great either, but you could definitely get the job done with these if it's all you had. I'm sure as you broke the cards in, they would become much more clumpy. But yeah, not terrible at all. Definitely not something I would recommend using, but if it's all you got, it's all you got. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Virtuoso deck, a much nicer deck, and specifically made for cardistry. So let's go ahead and do this. So obviously the Virtuoso deck is going to do it nicer. The packets, as I drop them, but the packets are a lot better, and in my opinion, I do like this more. Obviously, if it's not in your price range, it's just not in your price range, and you gotta work with what you got. But you can do packet cuts with most any deck, unless it's just really god-awful. But yeah, this one's obviously better, but that's just as an example. Okay, so now on for the final test. we are going to be doing an under pressure. I'll put that up here if you don't know what an under pressure is, and a lapel spread, and I'll put that over here. So I think we're gonna start off with this one first. I'm kind of nervous because I don't know exactly what these cards are gonna do. I've never tried to do a pressure move with them before. So yeah, let's try it. So that's actually not bad. I thought that would be way worse. So it's definitely clumpy on the under pressure, but yeah, it's not terrible, but obviously not an ideal deck to do the move with. But if it's what you got, it's what you got, you know. So that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So now what we're gonna do a lapel spread. So let me switch angles and I'll show you that. Alright guys, so let's test the lapel spread with these cards. I'm a little skeptical because they are plasticky and cardboard, so let's just see how it goes. That's actually not terrible for these cards. I thought that was going to do way worse. So I've practiced the lapel spread for a while. That's a terrible lapel spread. But again, not ideal cards in this condition, but if it's all you have, you could definitely use it for that flourish. I would say packet cuts are probably the best thing for this deck, but then again, you can definitely practice other moves with this as well. Okay guys, so now we're on to the final part of the last test with the Virtuoso deck. So obviously this deck is going to handle much better as it is made for Cardistry specifically, but the price does get you, especially nowadays because they become very rare. So anyway, let's do it. Let's do it under pressure. Yeah, just much smoother. You can actually, it just looks a lot better. So obviously this deck was going to perform much better, but as I said, the price is what gets you. So let's go ahead and try a lapel spread with this, and that is just a pretty lapel spread. I love the borderless design on these cards. I think it's pretty great. But yeah, as you can see, lapel spread's much better, which is obviously kind of known already. You kind of saw that coming because it is a deck made for Cardistry. Alright guys, that's about it for this episode of Let's Talk About Cards. The reason I wanted to make this video is I wanted to prove that you can still do some Cardistry, maybe not some of the fancier pressure moves, but you can still do Cardistry with a cheap or even free deck. And it doesn't have to be the highest quality for you to practice what you want to practice. I've had a lot of people ask me, and people that are living in not so good situations that are watchers of the channel, you know, what cards should I get because I don't have a lot of money but I want cheap cards. I'll make a video about that as well. But I just wanted to prove to you, you don't need the best cards to do Cardistry. You just need the dedication and practice it takes to learn the moves. And with that, that's about it. Anyway guys, I'm the Wooden Cardist. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.